so he won't be able to go through the spring, but he'll be in the meetings and be able to start mentally, you know, and he can still be in that weight room working and developing. So big spring for him. We signed one quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. He was the top guy that we identified, #1 guy in the country, and been committed since forever ago. And he's here, and can't wait to get started with him. 2 wideouts, the top 2 that we targeted, we got. #1 player in this state, and the #1 player in the state of Alabama, which is also first in my career. And so just really excited about that. We signed 1 running back. I was telling the crowd down there earlier, Tony Elliott, there's not a more stingy guy in our building with an offer than Tony Elliott. He is stingy when it comes to offering running backs, because he wants, as I said earlier, he wants the right type of people to be in his room. He takes a lot of pride in his room and who he's with every single day. Lynn Jay's a guy he identified early, and we're really thankful that it all worked out for him to be a Tiger, and think he's got an incredibly bright future. Defensively, we signed 9 guys. We signed 5 defensive linemen. You'd be hard pressed to find 5 better in the country. Three of the best young defensive ends I've ever been around, and 2 of the best defensive tackles. Justin Maskell and KJ and Xavier Thomas. These guys are going to be fun to coach, and so 4 of them are already here. Josh Belk. Not many people knew about Josh Belk, and I think he went out to the Army game with all the big boys, and they figured out who he was pretty quick. And then Darnell Jeffries looks like he's 35. You know, looks like it's unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to believe that this is a young high school senior going through spring ball. I mean, just physically how developed these D linemen are. But that's where championship football starts, is in the trenches, and we certainly were able to do that. Obviously, Jordan McFadden, the offensive lineman from Dorman, to get him, and then Jackson Carman, the #1 offensive lineman in the country, #1 player in the state of Ohio, to go along with these 5 D linemen. It's pretty special group in the trenches there. And then we signed 2 DBs. Kyler McMichael is the epitome of dynamic. He could be a Division I running back or Division I DB, and he wants to play corner. And man, he's going to be a great one. This kid is physically developed. He's fast. He's physical. He's very smart. His dad was a college player, and I just think he has such a bright future. And then to be able to go out to Missouri and get Mario Goodrich just speaks to the reach of our brand. You know, Brent, Mike did a great job in identifying him, and really enjoyed my trip out there to his high school, Lee Summit West. This kid is long. He's got everything you could possibly want to come in here and play in our secondary. And just a great family, high character, great student, excellent fit for our program. First signee from Missouri ever in our program. So, you know, our program is always kind of built from inside out, but to be able to reach out when we need to fill a need is pretty special. There's not a lot of programs that can do that, and just appreciate our guys and doing an awesome job and making it easy for me when I get there. And then I got 2 linebackers, been committed forever, offered them early. Obviously, y'all know Jake Venables, very familiar with him. Jake is a knockoff from his dad. You know, he's a you know, rolling ball of butcher, you know, blades. I mean, he's just a fast, tough, physical, instinctive, smart football player that has literally just lives and breathes it. You know, I mean, he is an unbelievably committed guy. It's very seldom that he's not working out at 5:30 in the morning. He'd work out all season at 5:30 in the morning, then go play football, have football practice in the afternoons. He's just, for a young guy to be as driven and motivated as he is, that's going to separate him as he matures in his career. And then Mike Jones is a kid that grew. This is our youth camp paying off. All right, this is a kid that has been coming to youth camp his whole life, and then all of a sudden he became a high school kid, and his dad played 10 years in the pros and played at NC State. This kid came up to me in the 10th grade and said, "I'm coming to Clemson." I tried to talk him out of it because, you know, I'm not, y'all you follow our program, you know, I'm not much for you know, playing the game of recruiting. You know, here's what commitment means. And man, he's been committed. First commitment in this class, led the way, and an awesome prospect. Played a lot of safety, and kind of grew down into the box, and I think it's going to be an outstanding player for us as he goes through. So that's our group. We had 8 states, and again, 6 out of those 8 states, the #1 player in the state. I think speaks again to the strength of our brand and the job that our coaches and our support staff do in being able to promote Clemson. Just awesome. Very thankful and appreciative for the tremendous effort that goes into putting this class together. Street does an awesome job in kind of coordinating everything from the coach's standpoint, and then Thad and Jordan Sorrells and Ty Clements and that whole crew, our graphics area. I mean, it is an enormous undertaking, enormous, and to be able to have everybody on the same page is even harder. But that's what we have here, and that's what resonates with people. So just appreciate the job that our staff has done, and the same thing with our administration. I mean, we obviously have the resources to compete at the highest level. There's not a better president in the country than President Clements. This guy is here. He will come at any time and talk to one of our recruits, come over and eat lunch, get on the phone with somebody. He is incredibly involved, and I'm very thankful for that because he's great. Dan Radikovich is the same way. Just again, easy to see the alignment, and I think that's the difference from some places. There's a great alignment here, and everybody being on the same page. So just appreciate everyone. My coaches make it easy for me. I like to say they hit the 90-mile-an-hour fastball and the curveball's breaking across the plate, and I get to walk in and they underhand toss it to me, and I get to swing for the fences. They make my job easy. They really do. And so I'm very appreciative of our staff and our wives and everyone that just does everything they can to help us be the best we can be. So we're ready to get started on this 2018 team. And we've already started on our 2019 class. It's going to be a great class. We got a lot of great young people identified, and look forward to that process. It never ends. Again, it'll be a full 25, but for us right now, as Tim said, we're going to have a team meeting here in just a little bit. We've got a lot of quality control going on right now with our staff and our support staff in studying and trying to figure out how we can all get better, because that's what we're trying to do. We all want to get better and continue to grow and mature and be the best version of whatever role we have. That's the challenge that I have for this staff and everybody in this building. Everybody's got to get a little bit better. And so we're going to work hard at that, and then we're going to ask the same thing from our players. Next Wednesday, we'll start our all-in drills, which is an awesome opportunity for us to really kind of instill some of the core values that you have to have in a championship program. And then spring ball is going to start for us on the 28th. So 3 weeks from today will be practice 1, February the 28th. So spring's coming early here in Clemson, and chomping at the bit to get on the field. Spring game is April 14th. So hopefully we can have a huge crowd to come and see these guys, for the first time, a lot of them. So with that, I just again say thank you to all of y'all for coming and supporting us today and covering the Tigers.
You
Any questions?
You got a